Good afternoon, all you wild and weirdos and weirdettes out in Wild Weird Radio Land. It's Iron, and as you can see, Joe has returned.
Right.
It could be Joe. It may be nanites cleverly reconstructed to look like him.
LMD.
I'm not sure what it is, but it's back, and that is a good thing. So, welcome back, Joseph.
It is good to be back in more ways than one. Maybe we'll talk about what happened one day.
Yeah. Yeah, not today. It's a long story.
Yeah.
But let's just say that you're better. I mean, semi better. And just leave it right there for right now, everyone. So thank you all. They were all worried about you. So
well, I do appreciate the concern. Believe me, it was much needed. The concern was real. It wasn't invalid in any way. So thank you guys.
Yeah, we're not ruling out the Men in Black at this point, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, definitely can't.
Yeah, can't. Yeah. All right. Anyway, this fuzz is bothering me on my shirt, and I don't know where it's coming from. It's just the weirdest thing. It's been doing this all day. Anyway.
Weird fuzz?
Weird fuzz.
That was me yesterday. I had weird fuzz all over one of my shirts. I'm like, it didn't matter how many times I picked it off and show back up.
Same thing.
Yeah, that's weird.
This has happened like all day, and this doesn't happen.
Yeah, it was weird.
Okay. Well, anyone else out there have weird fuzz that started showing up in the past 24 hours? Maybe that's one of the signs. I don't know. Anyway, guys, let's
see all those hellbenders hanging out there with us tonight. We appreciate you guys.
Can you do this, or do you want me to do it? How you want to do?
I can roll them in. We got Amy True in the house. We've got Gary Foot, Dark Wolf, Ada Cox, Scorpius. We've got
Bonnie. Did that just say Tokyo? Stop. Did that just say Tokyo?
Yes, 901 in Tokyo.
Wow. Okay.
Sweet.
Then
we do have a few people who are out tonight. We know where they're at. They're at Contact in the Desert. You guys hope you're having fun. And you're
do you think they're making contact in the desert?
Contact with something.
You think? I don't know. We're not there.
Let's see. We got Trista Myers, Linda Sigmund, Goblin Awards.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
We've got Walter. Who else? Trista Myers.
Welcome.
LW Marshall, good to see you out there, brother. Wichita Okie, what's going on? Mr. Booker's in the house. We've got LW coming in hot. Thanks, brother.
LW, party time.
Appreciate you, man.
You have no idea. It is party time. We are.
Yep,
we're planning. There's some stuff.
LW is executive producer here at Wild and Weird Radio, and all things wild and weird. Thank you so much. LR Miller's in the house. Donna Ho, Wolves Den Woodworks. And I think as long as you've commented, Uvaru's there. Rob Posey. Max Rock, what's going on, Keller? Good to see you out there. I think I got everybody. Everybody that's commented. Chris.
All right, cool. All right, let's get everybody in here and get them all gathered around.
Stop stepping in random portals, okay? No leprechauns in them. You know, I almost stepped in a fairy ring today at work. I thought about it really, really hard.
Did you do that on purpose? Like, what the heck? I'm just going to do this.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about it. I didn't because it was such a perfect ring that I didn't want to risk accidentally hitting it with my foot.
Yeah.
And it was cool.
Well, we got some folks out there making sure that this thing goes on forever. I can see. So
that's right, Keller. Appreciate you, brother. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys, because I completely forgot to even put the goal up. I was
Rachy.
We were actually working. Well, what's funny is this episode was going to be something completely different, but then some weird synchronicity started happening. So it kind of went in another direction, and I'm kind of glad it did, to be honest. It's interesting where this week has ended up so far.
It really is.
And we still have tomorrow. But, the big news, I guess, was, Disclosure Day, the full trailer.
Oh, yeah, the final trailer, man, with some commentary from, which is really unusual. normally when you get a trailer, you're just getting the trailer, right? Well, Steven Spielberg injects himself at 2 different points in this trailer.
It's a documentary style. It's a documentary style trailer. I've never seen anything like that.
It's so weird. I mean, I'm all here for it. I can't wait till it comes out.
Oh, it's gonna be something.
I hear the click clack clickety clacks are supposed to be some kind of like sleeper cell awakening thing. I can't.
Oh, you heard that? You heard that?
Yeah,
right?
that's. I saw that on the interwebs, so it has to be true.
Oh, it has to. Absolutely. Yeah,
I can't wait to be sitting in the theater and then all of a sudden hear the click clack,
right,
and be like,
oh yeah.
I'm just. It's going to be the day.
Yeah, right. I mean, just full disclosure, you guys, we've played it on here before. One of the flute tracks that I did actually has some throat clicking in it. For the folks who don't know, throat clicking is an ancient thing here on Earth. So it would make sense that if we have ancient ancestors, that they may attempt to communicate with us like that. And if you even watch, what was it, Resident Alien? Resident Alien even used that. So pretty sure they're not members of the
you gotta
deep
remember,
state.
Resident Alien did have a very special executive producer.
Oh, yeah, they kind of did, didn't they?
You know, Giorgio Tsoukalos was a producer and one of the lead consultants on that show.
Well,
so
I mean, you know,
it makes sense.
It makes sense. So no, what I'm saying is people who do their homework and do their research know exactly what all those things are. The full reveal, that alien scene blew me away just because of the man. That's 100% right. That's all I'm going to say about that. And I was just hoping that's where it was going to go. And when I saw it go there, I was just like, he's reading our minds. Experiencers had their minds read. So what I asked you, and I asked a lot of people, and no one has really said much to this, but you guys remember, you know, when Strieber's book came out, Communion, and the whole hoopla over the cover, right? There were places that covered the cover up. It was causing, you know, these PTSD,
they
like
flipped it around to the point they even changed the main cover.
Yeah, so there were PTSD, like, you know, reactions to the cover. I have it laying
around here somewhere.
And I'm just wondering, you know, this is even bigger than that. So how many people are literally, like you said, going to be switched on, but not in the way that some of these people think?
Yeah, and I don't think they're going to be switched on necessarily in the sense of
no, they're totally going to be switched on. Don't you ruin this.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think they're going to be switched on by the throat clicking.
Oh, not that.
Clicking. I think it's going to be more along the lines when they see something that they didn't know that they were going to remember.
Bingo, what you said. Absolutely. That's 100%. And it's going to be an awakening. You know, you kind of have to ask yourself, was that designed that way? I don't know. They walk among us. Of course they do. We've been here they've been here all along.
It is a very I'm very much anticipating this movie.
Yeah. Kate Amusements there always reminds people to do things that we always forget to do. Yes, please do hit the likes, do hit the subscribes, do hit all that fun stuff, because we have a lot to do and a lot to go over in
we do
coming, well, pretty much coming months at this point. We can kind of see the writing on the wall, and we're going to kind of point you maybe in that direction tonight. And, you know, we're going to talk about some stuff. Man,
Ron, I half expect you to pull off the human mask at any moment. So we do have some really good stuff coming up, and I want to talk about it now while we've got a lot of you guys with us.
Yeah.
If you live in the central East Coast, this is going to be an easy trip for you. Okay. Bristol, Virginia, June the 13th. We are going to be at Saucers Over Appalachia. We've been doing this event since they started it with the Withville UFO Festival. It really is a phenomenal show.
It really is.
I think second to Mothman, it's become my favorite show. And that doesn't, CryptidCon's a different kind of animal. This is like a festival. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is like my favorite festival. This
is people having fun and just relaxing, doing silly things, dressing weird, you know, things like that. And so then you have the serious stuff over here on this area.
Right. You've got us being silly and goofy out at the tables,
having
serious talks at the tables. But then we're also going to be doing a presentation over in the music hall. and it's in the
What do
Bristol.
you-
I think it's the Bristol Country Music Museum. Is
Joe?
where the presentation is going to be.
What do you think we should talk about at that presentation this time?
Well, probably show them some of the stuff they didn't get to see last year because the feed shut down. But really, I think the best thing that we could do is show the comparison of our work over the last 7 years to what is happening today.
Where we are, how we got here.
Yeah.
The long, strange trip that it's been, so to speak.
Will Zorp and Cargon make an appearance? I'm disappointed to miss that. Zorp and Cargon and the Party Barge will be in the house. They will be making probably multiple appearances that day. Everybody loves it. So
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
They're crowd favorites. The law enforcement down there loves Zorp and Cargon.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
So
yeah.
We're at least going to have to make sure they show up for those guys.
Yeah. Or they may not go back home.
God, all right. Amy True, glad Joe's fit. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Still on the mend, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
Saucers Over Appalachia is kind of a cool name. It really is.
Yeah. And we might actually get some Saucers Over Appalachia. Who knows? It's happened before.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Won't be the last. The feed must have shut down because of Whiskey 1.6. You know, it's really funny you say that, because it was literally right before we were getting ready to show some of our most, at that time, impressive footage that we had caught.
Yeah.
And everything is just black. And, the feed interrupted or something comes on there. It's like everything is black. It's like, no one could figure it out.
It was really weird. And nobody in the room expected what was getting ready to happen. Yeah. Because, we do a weekly live show. We're live every week. We're used to that. And we were able to just kind of go on with this beat.
Yeah.
And we still presented the data. We presented all the information. We had a fantastic conversation with everybody. And we were paraded around that day as everyone's favorite speakers because they really liked the way the dynamic worked, despite technical difficulty.
And things happen. You got to adjust with that, and letting them come back over to the table and see the stuff for themselves. Yeah, that's always good.
The show must go on.
It sure does. Dave, thank you.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
I'm going to get these guys a couple blessings out.
Why don't you get them some blessings? Yeah.
Jump into the news.
Give them one of those flute ones. Maybe you'll hear the alien language in there or something. I don't know.
There we go. Oh, they reset on my side. Interesting.
I really don't know which one's there now. There you go. I'll do for now. There wasn't anything on that one. I didn't activate anyone on that one. Anyway, so why don't you flap us over there to the old news thing, and we'll fly over that way, and we'll see a little bit of that, and then we'll go into what we're gonna talk about.
Sounds good.
It's wild. It's weird. It is the news. And this is going to be somewhat of, we're going to run through this really quick because we're going to get to the other stuff and talk about some of the other more weird things. But one of the more interesting things that did happen to, well, not today, but this week, was that the skeptics started coming out, Joe. The skeptics started coming out, and they demand proof, Joe.
What's really interesting is a lot of these skeptics are stepping forward, demanding proof, like you said.
Yeah, they need
but
proof.
They have this unearned confidence about themselves that they absolutely know what so many of these things are, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Don't they? I mean, don't they know? Because they're writing articles like this. I would assume that if one is to write an article like this, then someone has got to know something. If you can quote it as total nonsense, despite all of the actual and all the data, there's just so much. There's analytical data, there's anecdotal data, there's actual instrumental data, there's sensor data, multi-sensor platform data. I can just go on with data all the time, but it's not enough.
Well, here's the thing with Dr. Emma Chapman. She has something to lose here.
Okay,
what's so
that, Joe?
Well, Emma Chapman is a British physicist, and she's a fellow at the University of Nottingham. Okay. And so I'm sure there's some kind of a tie there, and she's worried that the aliens are going to be related to Robin Hood in some way.
That's not what that's about. I'm pretty sure you're making that up.
Well, I might be, but her research is based in cosmology, astrophysics, radio astronomy, and those are all big things that are used in space research and SETI.
What was that?
SETI.
Oh,
yeah. Search for extraterrestrial intelligence.
Isn't this the second time we've talked about a threat to SETI in the past 2 weeks now?
It is. It really is. And, with Dr. Chapman in this case, I think, honestly, because a pillar like Neil deGrasse Tyson has stepped away, another pillar now must rise in and fill the vacuum as the most prominent astrophysicist in the realm. And why not come from the sheriff of Nottingham, right?
What? No, man, you're mixing legends.
So anyway, she thinks that because of the ideas that she's got about the physics, essentially, it's preposterous.
Well, the galaxy is just too big. I mean, come on, Joe. We all know the galaxy is too big. Nothing can move across the galaxy, right? Space is big. For you people who don't get that, space is big.
Right. So her starting point in this whole idea is in the echoing universe, how radio astronomy helps us see the invisible cosmos. Chapman writes that she's always a little taken back when the audience asks if she believes in intelligent aliens at all. And her answer is blunt. I'm always a little taken aback, as is the audience, when they hear my empathetic answer. Absolutely. I have no doubts at all. For her, the sheer scale of the galaxy combined with the torrent of discoveries, blah, 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 blah. Same thing we always hear. It's so big. It's so vast.
This is literally the same script. They are saying the same thing. Whenever any astrophysicist is asked now if there's life out there, oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. There's life out there. That's as far as they'll go. And then they proceed to tell you why it can't be here based upon what they know.
In other words, the question of aliens true or fake, in her view, becomes less a matter of belief and more one of statistics. With billions of stars in our galaxy alone and an ever-growing list of potentially habitable worlds, she writes that it's mathematically implausible that Earth is the only place where complex life has taken hold.
I mean, this sounds like she's on our side, right? Doesn't it? I mean,
to a degree, you start hearing that, but again, it's part of the same script.
It's the same script. That's what I'm getting at. Keep reading. It gets good.
So, to my surprise, it comes about because as a radio astronomer, I have no doubt that life is there. And sometimes I forget that there can even be a question about the matter, she notes in the book. That quiet astonishment.
Did you say a book?
Oh, of course there's a book.
There's always a book.
Of course there's a book. There's always a book, Ron.
That's going to be the title of our book.
There's always a book.
That's it.
That seriously needs to be like the subtitle. It's like Wild Weird WV.
Yeah.
There's always a book.
There's always a book. We're doing that. That's at least going to be a chapter. Okay, go ahead.
To those who work daily with the data, the loneliness of humanity looks like the stranger proposition. Yet Chapman draws a sharp line between accepting that intelligent aliens exist somewhere and endorsing the folk stories. Also, now it's folk stories.
It's folk stories, folks.
That have built up around flying saucers. See, there's the tagline that is going to be the discriminatory note. Flying saucers. Because of saucer mania. alien abductions and secretive state agencies hiding the truth.
You mean the things that are actually happening?
Right. Like you would almost think that this article was written 6 months ago.
I would think it was written in the 1970s.
Well, yeah, but still, like even at the latest, 6 months ago.
Honestly,
You know,
I mean,
and
yeah,
because a state agency, aka NASA, we have nothing indicating that there's any kind of strange anomalies on the moon or in space or otherwise.
yeah.
1 week later, to the day, NASA documents released strange and unusual happenings and recordings from space and the moon. Apollo 11, Apollo 17. Yet there's nothing there. There's nothing there.
That's
But
all. You're reading into it, man. This is folklore. Like
we didn't
not-
cover
like-
that stuff up. It wasn't classified.
Yeah, it's folklore. It's like what you call it, Robin Hood.
Oh, yeah. See, this is where the sheriff of Nottingham is going to come after me
Probably
because we're not UFO scientists, Ron.
we are not, because it is dangerous to be such. So
It
we are
is.
not. We are not.
So because we're not scientists, we don't have the
Cloud.
how did Neil put it? The
the title
qualification of integrity.
and title.
Yeah, the integrity and title to accompany our names. So I hereby dub myself the Sheriff of Nottingham. And
Okay.
that's going to be my new title.
All
Joe
right.
Purdue, Sheriff of Nottingham.
Why not?
Have aliens visited our planet? She asked before answering herself as empathetically. Absolutely not. I have no doubts at all.
Should you answer yourself? I'm being serious. You're going to talk to yourself, right? Now, I've always been told that if you talk to yourself, that's normal. But if you start answering yourself,
Right?
that's a little something else.
Right?
So
For all the heat around the alleged UFO sightings, she argues there's still no evidence for interference by extraterrestrial life on Earth.
none.
But what if life on Earth is proof of the interference? Like we don't know. We don't know.
No, you're not wrong. I mean, that's our whole point, right? That's the lesson here. You know, what if you're not going to find proof because you can't see it? It's right in front of your face.
Yeah.
Go look in the mirror. There's your proof. You know, but we got to prove. But we got to prove that proof. So
Dave Eggleston, you can't expect them to shake all their biases all at once. It's true. It's
You
true.
can't.
So Chapman suggests that many supposed flying saucers are far more mundane.
Yeah.
Bright points
Yeah.
on low horizon
Uh-huh.
often turn out to be the planet Venus. Other incidents are swamp gas and balloons.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, she said optical illusions. Never
What?
mind. It
Same.
could have been interchangeable.
It's the same. It's the same script.
Or terrible camera work.
I can't say that
Well, it
that's
looks like a UFO yet, Ron.
no. You look
Well, it
like
looks
a
like
Sasquatch.
I forgot there's a gimbal on this thing. It's not really moving that
Sasquatch.
much.
That was Sasquatch. Needed a red
The
circle.
further mismatch, for her, the mismatch is telling.
Mm-hmm.
At a time when billions of people carry high resolution cameras in their pocket. Hey, we've heard this with Bigfoot before.
Oh,
The fact that the UFO evidence still looks shaky belongs firmly in the realm of conspiracy theories, not systemic
nope.
observation.
Still not a UFO.
But what if it's really good camera work? Because I built a tripod that has multiple sensors on it and it doesn't move, but the things do. See, she just hasn't seen our data. That's the problem.
She doesn't
That's the problem.
care. That's her
These scientists
problem.
need to see if they see our research, they will become believers.
No, they won't.
Yeah.
Don't be silly. No
We'll
one.
baptize them in cheese.
Cheese.
Yeah,
Like,
man, it's
what
thick
kind of
and
cheese?
viscous. They might not come out. If they
oh,
don't, what's the worst that happens? We lose an obnoxious voice.
I mean, I don't know. I think they're funny, to be honest. I think they have their place in the universe, just like,
Mosquitoes.
yeah. Yeah. Just like mosquitoes. They bite you and they get swatted.
Oh man. Hey, Lady Wolf's in the house. What's up?
So that does not mean scientists are complacent. On the contrary, as Chapman stresses, astronomers are actively listening for signs of intelligent life using some of the most sensitive radio telescopes on Earth. And folks, right there is the crux of the argument. That is all they care about. That is all they literally care about. Radio waves. They can't think beyond radio waves because apparently that's as high as we can go. Well, that's funny because our theoretical physicists have already moved beyond radio waves. And if our
Right.
theoretical physicists have moved beyond radio waves, Joe, what should we do?
Follow along.
Maybe follow that
Accept
data.
the data.
Yeah. Stop trying to change the data to what we want it to be. I don't know.
HS, you are exactly right.
It is.
The article is enormously condescending. And if you look up, Dr. Chapman's personal work, you'll note that 99% of her work is condescending. It's not just this article. She has no couth. She doesn't know how to talk to people. And there might be some kind of a, disconnect in her brain where she's not good at social cues or just communication. It does happen with people who are extremely intelligent.
That's why I'm dumb. And not a UFO scientist.
Yeah.
Smart enough to get you there.
Right. So if the paycheck becomes large enough, then they'll become believers. Got to have money for the next book. That's right.
There's always a book.
There's no money in being proven wrong. Bingo.
No, that's a fact. That really is a fact. And you got to think about it like this too. Let's be real, okay? Where she's at, they are not as open just yet to the possibilities in academia, I don't think. And who wants to lose their money here? I mean, for real. Like,
no, that's the real thing. And we had this conversation a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like this was a real conversation. Like what Ron's sharing with you right now, something that we talked about extensively a couple of weeks ago, and then even a few months back. There's a lot of risk.
There is.
You're talking about grant money. You're talking about research funds. You're talking about donations and backers and supporters. You're talking about books that are currently being bankrolled as, especially scholarly books. They're being bankrolled as collegiate material. So that way, like if you take a class, you have to buy so-and-so's book because you're going to be researching their work. Their work is maybe a milestone or a benchmark in that realm of study. So you have to purchase it. So it's guaranteed sales. That's money. It all revolves back around to money. And if you take that away, history, for example, if we rewrite history, all the books have to be rewritten.
It's a lot of work.
All of the archaeologists have to retrain. All of everything, the entire base has to be rebuilt from the ground up.
Yep.
It's a lot of work. It undoes a lot. Undoes.
That's a
it
word.
Undoes a lot of people's life work.
Yeah.
It takes people off of lecture circuits unless they adapt really freaking quick.
Yeah.
You
mean like Tyson's trying to do?
Yes, Tyson is the one right now. Avi Loeb ran with the data. He followed the data. He threw some conjecture in, but ran with the data. But
Avi?
Yeah.
No. We're going to play a clip for Avi here just a little bit.
But Neil Tyson, 100%.
Yeah, he's following.
He's starting to he's on the boat. He's smart enough. He is the example of somebody who has time to sit and think a little bit too.
Yep.
And he's putting his hands on the sides of the boat. He's feeling how it's rocking and moving, and he's getting his bearings. So that way, when this wave hits, he doesn't get thrown out of the boat, and he can still be a voice that people will listen to, because he'll be able to say, oh, I stepped back from that idea. I followed the data. And here's where you can see where I followed the data.
Well,
he's being smart about it. And I can't, and it's admirable.
It's worked.
The fact that he's very condescending.
It's worked for other people in history. Look at, come on, look at Heineck.
Yes. Heineck's a prime example.
That's a great example of how this has worked before. But yeah, it's something. Speaking of your boy there,
go Dot. All plans go out the window after you get the first punch in the face. It's true. It's true, and that's exactly what happened here. I think Tyson saw the punch coming. He was able to get back enough to where it just barely grazed him, but he's trying to save face right now.
Yeah. Well, take us over to that that
Media.
presentation thing again. Yeah, do that. And watch this. Because you said his name, so we have to make him appear now. Let me find it. Where is it at? Here it is. So you remember the guy who told us that there's a chance that this object was
Hello
going
there.
to fly by Mars, dock with whatever Jupiter,
Yes.
possibly land on Earth. It was obviously a techno signature, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, well, listen to this. Listen to this. This is good.
Well, bureaucrats or unimaginative scientists want us to believe in the expected, but the rest of us know.
Hold on. That was beautiful. Unimaginative scientists. Yeah, good on you. That's great.
That the best is yet to come. Life is worth living if we allow for the unexpected to surprise us. And, science is a learning experience. All I'm suggesting is let's collect more data to figure it out for sure. Okay. Because we cannot be sure right now. Imagining.
Now, fast forward to today, and we have the discussion about the alien hybrids.
Someone visiting us with similar DNA characteristics is extremely unlikely to be relevant.
The whole Nordic thing, the Nordics supposedly looking like us, what do you make about that?
Well, there are Nordic people on Earth, right? So, obviously you can find them in crash sites of fighter jets, in battlefields. So the whole idea that there are 4 species of aliens visiting us, I think, perhaps is a rumor that came out of retrieving pilots from crash sites that belong to different nations. But I think it's extremely unlikely that indeed we're dealing with a being that somehow mingled with humans and made babies out of that. That is ridiculous.
You know what it is? The government being transparent.
It may well be that someone in government had the idea of checking. I mean, that's quite possible. But that idea itself is highly questionable, scientifically speaking. So I would say this person, whoever thought about the idea of checking the DNA, is not very credible.
So the person who thought about checking the DNA is not very credible. You heard that from
and
Avi.
he thinks that it's preposterous.
It's preposterous.
I'm going to explain as to why he says it's preposterous, because he doesn't mention it in this article, but like, as someone who and Ron, you're all too aware of this, as well as someone who used to run a breeding operation.
Not
exotic
humans.
Animals.
Not exactly. We're not.
You have to have compatible parts, right?
Yeah.
And even though something might be a reptile,
yes,
it doesn't mean that its parts are compatible with another reptile. It has to be close enough related. Now, I would just to give him the benefit of the doubt, assume that he's probably erring on the side of caution that, our anatomical differences could be what would be the hindrance towards any kind of procreation, intermingling, blah,
he
blah,
actually says that. He says that the DNA would just be impossible. There's no way that the DNA would mesh. There's absolutely not a chance.
So with that said, what if it does?
Boy, wouldn't that be exciting?
What if it wasn't through the fertilization of an egg?
Yeah.
What if it was done through gene splicing?
What if?
Gene editing?
What if? Well, the more interesting part about that theory is that where he says, they're not credible, et cetera, right? Well, it kind of seems like that, back to presentation, sir. It kind of seems like that is coming from a fairly credible source. Check your notes over there, and you're going to see, ignore that one part, but right there under tracking down the facts. You see that? Tracking down the facts behind the claims.
Try and find it.
It's in notes.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm looking. I'm not seeing it.
Oh, that's weird.
Like there's notes in here. I just don't see that exact
Oh, well,
combination of words.
that's weird. Anyway, the person he's talking about allegedly here would be Kit Green. And yeah, you find that?
No, I still haven't found that. I found
Okay.
I found stuff about Lynn, but I haven't found. Oh, it's
no.
down here at the very bottom. Okay, here's
I don't know
the
that it's at the
Dr. Kit
top
Green,
for me. Yeah, is a prominent American forensic that part.
CIA analyst. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go. Once you
during the
talk about-
1970s remote viewing era, but he left the agency decades before 20.
Oh no, you're reading you're reading the debunking part. So let me go back up here.
Yeah, you go ahead and read the
I got it. It's all good. Don't worry. So here's the thing. He's talking about, someone who's not very credible, yet who we're talking about here is allegedly Kit Green. And that's a prominent American forensics neuroscientist. He's the one who actually worked with Nolan to kind of do that whole caudate putamen research. You remember with the experiencers, the people who got too close to UAP.
Yeah,
that's where some of that came from. But the allegation is that, he somehow created this, I guess, backdoor into these ancestry sites or something. And as you were saying there at the bottom part, they didn't exist at that time. So you can't really say that, right?
Yeah, DNA, the Human Genome Project, none of that stuff really existed yet.
No. So the story that everybody's quoting here, it really came from the story originated from author, there's another book, and philosopher, Dr. Jason Reza Giordani, during an interview on American Alchemy podcast. So Giordani stated that this information came from a retired U.S. Army sergeant, that's Lynn Buchanan, former psychic spy who worked in the government in the 1970s remote viewing program. So who he is he's one of the main characters in, the fictional portrayal of that, The Man Who Stared at Goats. He is one of those individuals. So actually, I think he's the guy in the movie.
George Clooney is who portrayed him.
Is that George that did that, right? Yeah. So it's George's character. And
they're both named Lynn.
Which is just great, right? But so apparently that's where this came from. So this guy says that Buchanan told him that Kit Green devised a secret method for the CIA to access consumer genealogy sites. The goal was allegedly to monitor specific genetic variances or marked links to non-human beings. And the theory highlights the other or unknown unidentifiable wedges in the consumer ancestry pie charts. So the UFO theorists suggested that, the government secretly has investigated this, etc. Right? Now, there's a Nordic spin. You've heard this.
Yes.
So he says the Nordic thing is, according to Buchanan's story, he says, according to Buchanan's story, I want you to pay attention to what I just said. He was approached at dinner by 3 Nordic aliens, quote, Nordic aliens, humanoids who look like tall, blonde Scandinavian humans. They claim to be running an intergalactic underground railroad to hide hybrid children in small mountains in the Colorado Rockies. They supposedly asked for Buchanan's help to evade the CIA trackers utilizing DNA database. This is Escape from Witch Mountain, by the way. The notes, however, on this that I found was this. Number 1, on Jessie Michaels' interview, which just came out today, by the way.
It did. It dropped today at around 2, I believe. 2 or 3.
Dropped at 2:00. And what's really funny about that, Joe?
Well, Ron had been doing some research on this exact same topic and found an interview from 9 months ago and was sending it over to us this morning. And we were going over some of these interviews with Lynn, and it was really, really interesting that all of a sudden, we're piecing together this episode for tonight for you guys. And all of a sudden, Jessie puts out a trailer for an episode.
It was
about this exact same topic.
Absolutely perfect. It was
hilarious.
Absolutely perfect, because it's really good, because what he says on Jessie Michaels' interview, and I didn't get the clip because it just dropped and I didn't have time to come home and grab that, but I've got some earlier clips for you. But he says specifically the individual he met with in that parking lot, they were human. He did not say Scandinavian. He did not say Nordic. He said they were human. And as you pointed out, Joe, also, there is a massive time gap here. I mean, 1970s, there was no .com.
Yeah. Right.
So there's some truth to this story, like there always is. And there's a lot of sandwiches, right, bud?
Yeah.
So there's some truth in this story. And then there's just some utter, what in the world? Where did that come from? And to be honest with you, I don't know, other than to say that it's there for a spin. It's there to get clicks. It's there to get noticed. I don't really know why it's there, but there's definitely some not quite right there.
Well, this story started spinning out based off what we were reading earlier about the CIA being interested in trying to track these things through genealogy. Now, it is no secret. It is no secret at all, and it never has been.
Yeah.
That government agencies helped fund some of this scanning of documents to bring in census records and connect people and all this stuff with Ancestry back in like early 2000s going up to 2012, prior to the genetic sampling and testing that they were doing. Then after that, there were clandestine groups. It was, again, not a secret. I know people who were contacted by other clandestine groups because they were submitting their samples to Ancestry.com. I know people, this is a firsthand account, okay? This is not me. I wouldn't do it. My grandpa did. I didn't. But one of my best friends in college did. And he was contacted by a group that found a common ancestor that went all the way back to it was a royal bloodline. Okay. And they contacted him and basically wanted him to become a part of their organization solely based off of the bloodline. Now, we do know that was happening. Mm-hmm. He wasn't the only person that had that happen. There's tons of stories. You can go down the rabbit hole if you want, whether they were CIA, government, whatever, they were clandestine groups. Also, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints were doing the exact same thing. The entire reason Ancestry.com exists is because they're trying to track lineage going all the way back to the apostles and certain other people to connect them to people within the church and their religious organization for leadership status and roles. That is pretty common knowledge. All right. So the fact that maybe the CIA would have had somebody that they knew would have been carrying a marker, so to speak, genetically, that was in the database. If it shows up that you're connected to that person genetically, that means that you would have that same marker.
Right.
So why wouldn't a group like the CIA or some other group, clandestine group, be doing that?
I don't know, but I find it interesting that this part here from the New York Post, notice the little community note at the top where it was posted. Doesn't that remind you of like the old, the old disclaimers on the shows? The United States Air Force does not, investigate UFOs, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep.
Must be true. I don't know, guys. When I see things like that, it really makes me wonder, no matter how ridiculous the headline is. I think there's some truth to this. I just don't know what the truth is. Okay. I think we kind of talked about what the truth might be last week, but you go back and watch that one for a nice briefer. But I think they are interested in trying to find this genetics, and I got my own reasons for that. But I think that there was a spin on this as well, And the spin was to make it sound a little more, ridiculous. Because then you've got two ridiculous stories. Well, which one's true? They both sound ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's the perfect thing, man. That's the
It
perfect
is.
thing. All right, take this presentation back. I'm going to play one of these clips from Buchanan. And here's what I found. So while I was trying to find this today, I kept saying, okay, so I found Buchanan and Kit Green. Like, well, Buchanan was somehow told this. And it was on a podcast. So I'm like, all right, got to find it.
Yeah, 9 months ago.
9 months ago. So I found the timeline. I went back. I found the podcast, which was not mentioned. I found the podcast, and there's just a scroll of them. And I've seen one of them just sticks out to me. It says UFO bases or something. And I'm like, okay, that's got to be it. So I went on there, and lo and behold, what do you think I found? I found exactly what we're looking for. So
Joe asks, would Ron
ahead.
be willing to take a DNA test and reveal the results publicly just to clear up any doubts?
Nope, sure wouldn't. That ain't gonna happen, brother. Let's see, where's it at? It is right here. And listen to what he says here, okay? And
What do you think is up
I don't
there?
know if I should talk about this or not, but I think I will.
this is from Third Eye Drops, by the way, of Michael Phillips.
Yeah, it's a great podcast. Great,
Yeah.
great interview style show.
Yeah.
Go check him out.
Yeah.
I was in El Paso one day and was getting out of the car to go into a restaurant.
Uh-huh.
And these two guys came up and they said, "You're Lynn Buchanan, aren't you?" And I thought, nobody's supposed to know. Maybe they've seen me on a podcast or something. And I said, yeah. And they said, we have a question to ask you.
So this was the first time that I have found that this was on a podcast. Now, apparently it's in literature. I believe that this story, he says, is in Alien Agenda by Jim Marrs.
Yes, Alien
Yeah.
Agenda.
That's one I don't have in my collection, by the way, of all the old books. That's the one I don't have. So here's the rest.
We need to know who is doing the inspection and the investigation and study of the other wedge on the DNA chart.
Now, right there's where the terminology came from. 100%. There's no question.
Wow.
And I said, well, I don't know. And they said, well, can you find out for us? And I immediately thought of Linda Moulton Howe because she knows everything. And she's a good friend of mine. And this guy, I don't know if they were lying.
Mm-hmm.
So I have no proof of anything he said. Okay. It's what he told me. He said,
Buckle up, because this is what he said. And just listen.
When the, I guess you could call them the Anunnaki, I forget what he called them, left the earth way back then, they took human slaves with them who have been in slavery all these centuries on other planets. And he said there have been genetic changes. And he said, as we come back here as slaves now, some of us are able to escape. And he said, we're trying to fit into civilization, into the humans. And he said, we don't want control. We don't want politics. We don't want anything. We've been in slavery for thousands of years. We just want peace.
Okay. So that's interesting in and of itself, right?
Yeah.
But did you hear anything about Nordics?
None.
None. Not a one thing, right? Nothing. No, you didn't. Because there wasn't any mention of that in that particular one. But there was an interesting story nonetheless about genetic manipulations, off-world activity, They took early humans. I want you to hold on to that. Okay. Make a place for that in your head just for a little bit, because there's another clip I'm going to play here in just a second. Now it's going to come back to that. And then we're going to have a conversation. And I really hope that Joe's here, because I want to get his take.
He's still there right now.
All right. I want to get his take on this.
And he said that they have an underground railroad, what I would call an underground railroad, that helps them with it. But he said, we're very afraid of that other wedge in the DNA test. And so I went and asked Linda, and I said, is anybody studying that other thing? And she said, anybody in the government studying that? And she said, oh, yeah. And she named off 4 people right there. I mean, she knew the answer right there.
There you were. And we're pretty sure that one of those answers, it seems to be, was Kid Green at this point. So is this true? That's what it comes down to. Like, where does that fit in, Joe, if this is true?
Well,
and where's the line? We know that there's lies in here. Where's the line?
Well, Hellbent just says, I wonder if they took other hominins.
Oh,
hominins are technically early humans.
That's the next clip.
Keep that in brain. Keep that right there, locked up tight, Joe. Hang tight.
Hold on to that. Hold on.
Michael, what's going on? Hey, everybody, just got off work and heard the last part. It's always an opinion here that some of us are not 100% human. Very well could be the case.
Whatever that is.
So we're dealing with something with what Lynn is saying here. Lynn is a great guy. Lynn has a tremendous background. I don't want to say that he would mislead anybody.
Right.
Purposefully or otherwise.
Well, he even says, I don't know if it was true. I don't know if it was true. So,
because this has been relatively, not super recent, but obviously he said they could have recognized you from a podcast. So that means it would have been 2009 forward. Okay. Would have been when this encounter took place.
Yeah, he doesn't mention.
Because he doesn't say Tom, but he did mention podcast. Podcast didn't exist. Right. So we do know there was a benchmark there. So they could have seen him on a litany of things.
Sure.
Lynn goes and does presentations. He's done stuff with Contact at the Desert, huge crowds. MUFON stuff, huge crowds. He's in New Mexico, UFO capital of the world. So could it be that somebody just recognized him and was like, hey, look, let's go pull one.
Right.
Here's a story. Let's go see what we can swing.
It's a heck of a story.
Yeah.
It's a heck of a story, right?
Or was it legitimate?
Or was it legitimate? Take his presentation, and now we're going to throw in the rest of the story. And this I was not expecting at all. So I'll set it up for you because I didn't get the whole clip. It's really long. So he's a remote viewer. All right. We've already covered that. So he's tasked with this. This is after he gets out of the service. So after he got out of the service, you start doing these private things, for clients and whatnot. Client comes in, says, hey, we want you to remote view this particular place. Well, it's off world. Okay. It's a star system. And, okay. So he does it. And here's what they found. Pat, I hope you're out there because you're going to love this.
And, on one planet, we found a race of beings that wound up physically describing them physically, wound up looking sort of like Sasquatch.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Hairy, and intelligent, but with an IQ on our standard of maybe 90. Their highest intelligence would be maybe 90 on our scale. They weren't smart. But they were being cultivated by another group of aliens who would come in to their planet, give them training, give them supplies and all that. And those would go out and dig up minerals to deliver to the incoming people who were bringing them food and all that, And so they were being treated, like workers on that planet to get minerals and provide it to the aliens who came into that planet.
Okay. So let's think about this for just a second in light of that first clip. They look like Sasquatch. They're on another planet. There's another race that's using them for labor purposes, basically, is what I'm hearing. Think about it. Just do it in your head. I don't think anyone needs to say the words. Let's get some thoughts on this one.
Yeah, it is part of the Sitchin Anunnaki mythos.
It is.
It was also adopted by many ancient astronaut theorists because of that.
Some say yes.
And if Bigfoot is a relic hominid, an early human, something like an Australopithecine, that's an early human, then I don't know.
Right. At this point, we can't say one way or the other, can we? But
No.
but I think it's interesting because, this is not a common thing you hear. And if you've got a remote viewer seeing this, remote viewing protocols are pretty darn strict. Okay. And you go listen to this guy's, background. He's one of the best.
Oh yeah. Worked with Ingo Swann, Robert Monroe, all of them.
Okay. So Rick asked the question. So our Bigfoot escaped slave workforce? No, that's not it. They said that the people he talked to, they looked like regular people, right? So in that, he said, we've been altered. They've been genetically modified over the years. They didn't look like the same thing that was taken to that planet centuries ago. Just saying, throwing it out there. Think about it.
Lady
Doesn't
Wolf
mean it's
says, so
true.
I guess the reports of people claiming to see a Sasquatch piloting a spacecraft shouldn't be written off too quickly then, huh? All right.
At this point, I'm not throwing anything out really, unless it's just absolutely ludicrous and there's no connections to anything.
There could have been different types only hominins taken and changed could explain the variety of physical differences between Bigfoot encounters.
It very well could. It doesn't mean it is. It just means, wow, that sure is an interesting thing. But to me, that was not the most interesting thing that this man said. To me, the most interesting thing is what he put at the end of that episode. And you could tell he wanted to go into it a little bit more, but he did not. Hey, happy Thursday, Larry. He did not. And because they ran out of time. And I'm curious as to why, but he did not bring this up on American Alchemy at all. And it opens the door to the discussions I think we're having right now. Why are we having these discussions? There's a little truth, there's a little lie, it's that lie sandwich, right? I think that this is where we're going with the next bout of this disclosure thing. I think that we're going to be having to have these discussions. Something about the files, there's something that's going to drop. Take this presentation, I'll play that one, and we're going to talk about a few things.
Could explain the cloaking and portals and UAP sightings and your Bigfoot sightings.
It could, right? The orbs, all that. If you really want to dig into it,
it explain a lot of the woo that surrounds many Sasquatch encounters. Just don't go say it on the internet because we're about to get ripped apart in the comments.
Oh,
we're
gosh,
okay with
yeah.
that though. We brought lube.
Oh, it's all right. I can't wait to see the comments on this one. It's going to be great. You guys are crazy. You know, the dude, he didn't respond, by the way. The one that I said, let's hear your thoughts on this.
It's because he has no thoughts.
He erased his thoughts, and I wanted to do an open, actual discourse with these people. They
All
don't
he
want to
has
do
is
that.
white noise between the gray goo.
Got you. Okay, so here you go, folks. Have a listen to this, and then we're going to talk.
I was able to separate the ETs psychically into 4 categories.
Okay. So think about what we've been hearing for the past, what is it, Joe? 2 weeks almost now? 2 weeks now.
4 categories of aliens.
Right.
And they always show the gray, the mantis, the reptilian, and then
the Nordics.
That's the imagery that's shown on everything.
That's the imagery. That's the description that's been given by some of the hosts on these news programs. By the way, 70-some folks are out there. Hey, guys, come on in and let's have this conversation. We want to hear from you. Every single one of you have a right to talk about this because you are disclosure. I am disclosure. We are disclosure. That's how real disclosure works. We really don't need a government to tell us that these things are happening. Come on in here. And if you don't think they're happening, come on in and tell us why they're not happening. And let's have that discussion as well. Just keep it clean.
Because this is a place to have it. We're not.
That's what we do here.
You know, you can come in and say whatever you want, really.
You can talk about cheese if you like.
Or, super off the cuff. We'll probably read it.
Probably. All right. So there's 4 types, right? So it gets interesting, though.
Friends and enemies. All of a sudden, I think from other things I had read, it dawned on me. They are more psychic than we are, can control our minds and all this, but they don't have any range. With the remote viewing, we can see across space and time like we can look across a room. And when we get into space, if we have developed our minds to that ability, we are going to be a power in the universe. That's why our friends want us to do it. And stay friends with them.
Right.
That's why the enemies want us wiped out.
Wow.
And that was the paper I turned in, and
right there.
It got classified. That was the paper I wrote and found out from all of the information I had been given from those different projects. What I would say to people is, you have the ability. On a religious sense, if God gave you the ability, use it. Don't hide your light under a bushel. On the real physical sense, we are going into space. You better be ready for it.
He goes on to say right at the very end, I didn't get the clip, but you better be ready for it because there are those who don't want us out there or something like that.
Yeah. Keller, thank you, brother. We appreciate you.
Thank you. So
Melissa Lou, thanks for commenting there and joining us. We appreciate you. I know I see the orbs all the time, and I think that it very well could be happening on multiple planets. The same thing that's happening to our own planet. Maybe we are the experiments. Plausible.
It's very plausible.
We've been doing research. We're not just, for anybody who's new here,
we're not just
podcasters, radio hosts, whatever. We are we're field investigators as well. We have a huge catalog of work that we've done and a vast body of work that you guys can go look into, including Bigfoot research. We did a lot of Bigfoot research. And we're very well at one time respected names in the Bigfoot community. And then we started shifting, we started following the data, and we are doing the same thing with the UFO world that we did in the Bigfoot world.
Follow the data, make the waves where they need to happen. And we've always said that some of these strange things that happen with these orbs, these balls of light, these self-illuminating plasmas, whatever they are. Yeah, COPs is what we call them.
COPs. They're obviously intelligent. They interact with us. They interact. People claim to have had Bigfoot sightings and seen these same balls of light.
Right.
And this is the same concept that we've shared for years, is that, you know, they could be studying more than just us. And that's why they're seeing them out in the woods, is because there's tons of life in our forests. If you're studying a planet, like if you're just hypothetically say that you're a Nat Geo videographer.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, are you going to go and sit on the side of a road and just film cars all day, drive by? Or are you going to go deep into the bush after you get a few shots of people and like, oh yes, humans, these are the predominant form of life on this planet. These are the megafauna that are here on this planet. Then you start getting like, hey, I'm going to go look in the forests. Look at all the microfauna. Look at all these other forms of life. Let's study these. There could be value here. It's very, very plausible. Good comment, Melissa.
Yeah, it's a great one. Great. Anyone else? Questions, comments, throw them in here. This is the place to have this conversation, because we're going to be having a really, I'm telling you, over the next couple of months, we're going to have some really hard conversations. And this is just the beginning. We're going to start right here tonight with this: friends and enemies. You heard it, because there's so many people who are always, oh, they're all love and light. I mean, are we love and light? All of us? Why would we think that? Why would we think that? Even if you can evolve to the point of this, you know, amazingness, right? This oneness with everything kind of thing. There's still a possibility that someone can go corrupt. There's still a possibility that someone's not going to like somebody else. That's just part of probably the way it is, honestly.
I mean, the last time we had someone who achieved that level of perfection, we killed him.
Well, that's true.
I digress.
Ooh, that's very.
So Godot says the Nordic physical characteristics completely different from tall whites. Yes, that is 100% correct.
Yeah.
Only one of those can go fairly unnoticed in our cities.
Yep.
United States of Space.
Hey. Yeah.
Iski showed up. What's going on? What's on the radar? Space Bigfoot.
Space Bigfoot. Friends and enemies.
Other things.
Yeah.
Wichita Okie, I'm not sold on remote viewing, but I'm open to the possibilities. You know,
you weren't either, were you? Too much? I mean, really? Like,
I mean,
fully?
Not under the title remote viewing,
right?
But I did it for over 2 decades.
But you didn't know what it was.
I just called it something else. I had a different label. Different labels. See, we did that here. See, everybody can remote view. And you've remote viewed too. I will guarantee you've remote viewed. You just don't know you do it. It's part of your human nature. And all it is basically is, you know, letting one part of your brain talk to the other part of the brain without, you know, trying to figure out exactly what something is. Anytime that you've ever literally sat down and thought about, oh, I wonder where that thing is, and you see it, oh, I remember immediately. That's part of remote viewing, honestly. You know, he just did it.
Huh?
Joe said, "Okay, I'm thinking of a number between 1 and 10. Go." Wichita said 13, and Joe said, "You got it."
I mean, that's how it works. That's why we conduct, you know, the Zener card tests, because, you know, some people say that's, you know, precognition, blah blah blah, this other thing. It's really remote viewing, because in remote viewing, you're not necessarily viewing as much as you are just going with the first impression you get in your head. There's something to it. There's absolutely something to it. We've seen too much to dismiss it on our terms. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you have to believe that, because I'm telling you go out and do some research on it, and you will be amazed at what you can do yourself, what you can do, not what someone told you might be able to do, but what you can actually do.
Z says remote viewing gets easier with practice. It really does. All it takes.
It really does. It really does. It opens the door to some stuff, though. Be careful. But, and I don't mean like demons. I mean, like, you know, it opens you up to possible communication, right?
Bonnie says, I think you can train your mind to things like that. I mean, there's savants and people who have been injured who spoke a language they didn't know. Yeah, those are my favorite. They're the ones that get the head injury and wake up speaking Mandarin.
Yes. That's why we have the Squatch stick.
It is.
So we can bash Joe in the head every now and again and get him to communicate with the aliens.
Yep.
No, for real. But people have done this, and people do this, and people have had these encounters. They will continue to have these encounters.
Joe says, with great power comes great responsibility to make Joe wealthy.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, man.
So I think that we are definitely seeing the beginning.
Hey, Ron, pull the top card. What's the top card?
Oh, hang on. I'll grab it. So here
Top
there.
card.
Top card. This
Yep.
one. I think it's a square.
Bacon.
Oh,
Stone Maven, you nailed it.
boom. And that's kind of how it works, because
Joe got it too.
you get it too. Yeah. So that's kind of how that works. And it's just the first thing comes to your mind. A lot of people, what happens when you're doing that is you get in your
Dude,
head.
like so many people are getting it. Like so many people was like, I said bacon.
Yeah.
So many people got that one.
Yeah. See that. So a lot
See,
of
but that's how it's supposed to work. It's
That's
spontaneous. It is-
spontaneous.
Yes.
Yeah, it's spontaneous. And there's just so many different types of remote viewing. You got coordinate remote viewing, you got associated remote viewing, you got all these other things. And yeah, I mean, it works. It's just, you may not get it 100% all the time, but it does work.
Z says, every time I remote view now, I see Ron as Sky Daddy.
That's not funny, man.
That's amazing.
That's terrifying. So so I think we're moving into this area to where we're going to have to start talking about things like this again. Let's think about what we just said, remote viewing, right? We're having an actual conversation about remote viewing. We're showing you that you can actually
And we
do
have
this.
people doing it.
We have people doing it, right?
Yes.
Now, 10 years ago, no.
Demons.
No, it would have been ludicrous. You can't. That's
Yeah, right.
nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. And yes, the other part would have been occult, demons, et cetera, et cetera. You're 100% right. But we can do so much, and that's our thing. And we've been hearing this for years. There was the discussion that what was it? Dan Farrow was talking about with a guy
Yes.
that he interviewed, and he said, he was talking to the ET or whatever, and it says, if you humans only realize the full potential that you have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe says mine's fully developed. I just demonstrated it to the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Bonnie. I think trauma can also blow past any safety shields we have in our brains that block that kind of thing. Yeah, you're 100% right. Trauma is...
Yeah, it is true. It's true.
Trauma is, man. Thankfully, I had some trauma in my life. I swear it's the only reason I'm alive today.
Well, everything that you've gone through has brought you to here. And that's something to really think about in a big way, because you were talking today about, we're talking about Buchanan and you actually knew this guy in a way.
Yeah. So by
There's
the
a
way,
link.
just I knew Lynn Buchanan indirectly. I was introduced to him a couple times. He and my grandpa were part of the same organization.
Max Rock and Alistair did some weird stuff.
Yeah, he was doing like sex magic and scraying and like a bunch of other stuff. If you really want to know, actually, Max Rock, you can contact Jessie Doyle of Hellbent Holler, because she is our resident Aleister Crowley expert. So yeah, like I did get to meet Lynn a couple times, and the crazy thing is I had no idea who he was. Like I knew him. I knew what he did. Like I knew that he he did some remote viewing stuff a long time ago. But like with the time when I met him, I was 12 and 13 years old.
Did you know that then? You didn't know that then.
No. My grandpa just told me that he was in the military, used to do some stuff with the government and things like that. And because this group that they were with was a very intellectual, very smart group of people within the United Methodist Church. So, anywho,
he even talks about that in the Jessie Michaels thing, where he went around the country, these Methodists.
Oh, he did? I didn't get to watch it.
Yeah, he talks about it.
That's crazy. Yeah. So Yeah, I told you, dude.
Yeah.
It's wild, but yeah,
It's
I met him a
something.
couple times, and then it wasn't probably, I don't know, I'd say 10 years after I met him that I actually learned who he was,
Yeah.
thanks to a previous teacher of mine. When we
Yeah.
were talking, he's like, "Oh yeah, Lynn Buchanan." I was like, "Wait, Lynn Buchanan, like CIA guy, Army and CIA?" And he's like, "Yeah." And then I was like, "Yeah, I've met him a couple times." And then come to find out what he does, what he was affiliated with, and everything. So yeah.
Yeah. There you go. The GATE program. We even talked
Yes.
about this one.
Yeah, I was in the GATE program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a big old conversation about this on that one episode. Everybody
Yep.
started remembering their GATE experiences, and we were like, "Wait a minute, is that a thing?" And
Teresa, are you still out there?
Hmm.
I know Teresa was in it as well. But yeah, GATE program was used for that. There was a lot of tests that they had us do, and then whenever I took my ASVAB, when I went into the military, like I smoked the portion of the test that was like for puzzles and like decryption. And they tried to push me to go into military intelligence, and I wouldn't do it. Like I was like, nope, I want to go. I'm going to be a grease monkey. I'm going to go build airplanes. That might have saved me.
it may have saved you. No, Twisted, you're not wrong. I think many people will not open their minds to the stuff out of fear. Well, the fear's real. I'm just going to tell you right now, the fear is 100% real. You see me sit here all the time talking about, these beings, whatever. And, they're been pretty much benevolent, the ones that at least I've had contact with, but it doesn't stop the fear, because you are what you are. You're meeting with the unknown. You're meeting with something that you can't comprehend. And here's another little fun synchronicity. This week I was cleaning over here. I told Joe about this earlier. I was cleaning my desk. It's very rare that I do that, and he knows that. But I found my old original notebook from the 90s, and this is these are my notes that when I was doing out of body experience research and testing and whatnot. And this is some of the very first times I realized that there was a lot more going on than just out of body experiences, because I did not believe, for those folks who don't know, in the whole alien thing. That to me, it was a neat story. It was like, hey, it's folklore, right, Joe?
Yep.
But but it started becoming a thing, and
You're starting to sound like a space scientist, Ron.
I don't want to do that, and I will not. I refuse to sound like a space scientist. So I decided, that's not, it's all out of body experiences. Everybody's just misguiding this. They're misjudging this thing. They're, all the things are so similar. And then, I was keeping all these records, thankfully. And, 4 or 5 years later, I go back and go through my records, and I'm seeing this pattern starting to form, and one thing leads to another. And you can go watch, I think it's Related Phenomena. It's on here. It's a presentation we did. We did it at Withville, right? The first.
Yes, we did it at Withville.
Yeah. And you'll get part of my story there, but
pretty sure the Men in Black were there.
They probably were, but one of the entries in here was pretty neat that I had found, and I actually had a little diagram that I drew at the bottom of this one. But it was out of body experience, spontaneous OBEs. I learned that spontaneous OBEs were a thing that started happening after I was doing regular OBEs. And that would be where you were just laying there, and all of a sudden you start vibrating, you feel the vibrations, and next thing you know, you're floating away, or you're out of your body or where. But this one was from 1992, and it started with the characteristic vibrational sensations shot up, very conscious, feeling of anxiety or fear. Aborted the experiment, seemed real. Heard voices, music, eyes open, saw a blue barren room detailed in blue with square furniture like structures. Yeah, that happened. One of my other more interesting one was this one was from 92 as well. There's a lot in 92 and 93. This is where a lot of it really hit, but this was 93, February 11th. I woke up in shock or fear, felt presence near, remember dreamlike state, light, white, very bright, pale, skinny, limb, arm, or something similar, accelerated heart rate. Yeah. And that's just the stuff that's not written in code that I can talk about. So
Z's says, I found one thing with remote viewing is when we force something, it never works. It's almost a type of surrender, an observation experience.
yeah, you can't force it.
You have to enter into a type of a flow state.
That's exactly what it is.
And
That's exactly what it is.
You've got to, I used to teach, going into like a deep meditation, a deep prayer, and get your head into a space where everything was quiet, and then begin to listen.
Meditation.
And pluck out the things that stand out to you and write them down.
It's meditation.
We literally did the exact same thing that the Monroe Institute was doing.
It is the same thing.
Like, without knowing it.
Yeah.
I mean, mind you, I did go through the GATE program based off some of the Monroe work, but like the knowing how to hit those things, how to hit those targets and bring that out and getting people to, it took some doing, it took some convincing to get people to kind of let that wall down and then open themselves up to be able to listen.
Well, ego gets in the way, Joe.
It does. Ego, you have to completely shed that off, which is hard. It's difficult. And you have to have a well-worn path to be able to do it.
Well, you got to get rid of the fear. You got to get rid of the anxiety. You got to get rid of the guilt. Now, those are the three. That's literally the mantra that I created for myself when I started doing out-of-body experiences. That was the thing. There is no fear. There's no guilt. There is no anxiety. And it would say that over and over during a countdown procedure. And there's different countdown procedures, but I'm literally, that was the number one thing. Because you are, first of all, you think, oh man, I shouldn't be doing this. This is wrong. There's something weird about this. Okay, you gotta get rid of that. Fear. What's out there? It's unknown. You gotta get rid of that. Anxiety. Well, that's just self-explanatory because you're like, I gotta make this happen. Oh, this is gonna be so cool. No, it's not. You gotta just let that, like you said, go into flow state and just chill out. Serious question: where do you go when you float away? Well. It depended if I was doing, traditional out of body where I was just experimenting, floating up, touching the ceilings. It's called a reality test. That's what I was doing. Reality experiments, I think is what I called them. But I would test to see if it was a dream or not. So I would put things in the room. There was one thing I had, which was a little digital counter. And it wasn't digital. It was ripped out of a, you remember the old tape decks, Joe? They used to have like, the wheels, and you would hit the little button and they would reset. That was kind of like a digital counter. It was like a little analog digital counter. Well, I would set that, and I just kind of twirl it. I wouldn't look at the number, and then I'd set it up on my, there was a shelf above my bed, and I would put the numbers out to where if I went up, I could see those numbers. So I was always trying to get out to see those numbers and trying to verify that, or I was trying to like reach something, there was all these little reality tests that I would do. And, some of those worked, and that's pretty much how, I found my proof, but in finding the proof, I also found the proof that there was something else there. And that was why, for years we used to tell people, be careful, be careful, be careful.
Yeah.
Because once you go there, that's it. Your worldview has changed now.
Then Teresa says, odd thing happened that about 5 months ago, and I wrote that down when I saw Ron in Mall World, and I told him I'd try to contact him on the outside.
That's pretty good, actually.
I've got
Godot
one.
said, to be any good, you need years of training under a genuine master. What made the master?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. My master's was not from here. And I'm just going to leave that right there. So the fun thing is, when we're out there in the field doing our things, we look back on this and we're like, man, we've had all these weird experiences, and that was one of our things we talked about, is like, are we recognized, so to speak, and vibrational patterns or something like that. Well, that has to come into the conversation, because that's a possibility, and that's why when we did that one thing at Wineberry, we had a totally a remote person conducting a experiment from states away.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to blow that, but it was interesting. The results were very interesting, and it wasn't one of us, I don't think, as much as something happened there, maybe.
Twisted says, is astral projection intertwined with these experiences?
It can be mistaken for it, and it can also be a gateway for it. When you think, Joe, wouldn't that be accurate to say that it could be a gateway?
Yeah.
I would even go as far to say that can be a gateway, and you can actually do lucid dreaming and turn a lucid dream into an out of body experience, and then go from there as well. Yeah. It's some fascinating stuff.
Non-Lives says, Donna.
Yes, SOBs.
I've never had a deliberate OBE. I've had many, but they were always spontaneous when I wasn't expecting anything odd to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Pat says I was trained by Darth Plagueis the Wise.
Oh, man.
Like I'd just be walking along, not expecting anything odd to happen, suddenly feel lighter than air and realize I'd left my body behind.
That's something.
So with the talks of everything going on right now, with everything that we've seen popping up here in the media, on YouTube land, as well as in mainstream media land, when we have the types and species being mentioned, it does seem to allude to something bigger.
It does.
It makes me think that that's probably going to be, or could be, something that's going to be referenced in a future release. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's where we're going. That's why they're doing it. They're kind of, pre-paving the road, so to speak. They're tearing it out, getting ready to put down the new paving. I think that's where we're going. I think we've got to open the door to have these conversations, and it's going to get weird. This is the first time that we've really heard thrown on the stage that there are not only others, but, well, it's not the first time. It's the second time. The first time was I Shed over at the Israeli Prime Minister of the Space. Remember that?
Oh,
Where he said Galactic Federation was the first talk, and he mentioned there are others that do not like us. He mentioned those types, by the way. So this is the second time we've heard that mentioned, and these things go in cycles. So I kind of think that that's where we're going with this. I think that it's almost time to have that conversation, Joe. I think we're going to have to sit down, and it's going to come down to, look, you're not the big dogs. You're not the alpha. You're not even close to the alpha anymore. And that's a hard place. And I also think that, go back to last week's, episode, and I think that you see why we are scrambling. We, as in the people on this planet who think that they're trying to work in the best interest of the planet, or whatever they're doing, all they're doing is counter, are trying to figure out a way to defeat this before it even gets here. And they don't realize it's probably already us, which is insane.
Amy says, I have very vivid flying dreams over water mainly. I'm weird.
You're not weird. It's not weird at all.
Water is really common. Flight dreams are also really pretty common. It's one of the most common of the lucid dreams.
You will know the difference between a dream and an out-of-body experience. I just want to state that for anyone who has them. You're going to know the difference. There's a massive, it's real. It's not, I'm dreaming. It's just like right here, right now. Except for maybe you don't see, your hands. You might see like a glowing something here. I don't know. And everything looks different around you.
A reptilian told a pretty blonde, I want to know what love is. I hope you can show me. My voice is still really shot. Otherwise, I'd be like, that's one of my favorite songs to do at karaoke.
Do you know that takes me back to the 80s, Jeff? No, I'm kidding. It's like, that was great. That was great.
We'll just wait for the copyright strike on that one. I didn't go long enough.
Nah, you're fine.
Oh man.
As long as you don't play the music, you're fine.
Right. So with the talks of all these things, Lynn made a distinction with the types of things. He wasn't saying Nordics, reptilians, mantids, grays. Yeah. He was saying things that like us, things that don't, things that are very psychic, and things that are kind of like us.
Yeah. And that our friends want us to develop our abilities. So, because they really did. He didn't really say. And let's be real. Our friends have a way of keeping things from us. And it might be for our own good, for all I know. I don't know.
Joe says maybe we should keep that maybe we should 86 that musical episode.
We definitely should.
Nah, we need to make it happen. At least I have a voice today. This is the most I've been able to talk in a week.
Yeah.
Then let's see.
9 lives right there.
So when it happened during sleep, I've been told by people they saw me in town or at their house and wouldn't talk, but I know that I was at home sleeping.
Okay, so that technically is biolocation.
Yes.
And that is something very interesting, honestly.
Yeah.
Because, we've had this conversation before about ghosts, right? It's like, well, how'd you know it was a ghost? Maybe that was, maybe that was somebody having an out-of-body experience. I'll push you one further. Maybe that was me having an out-of-body experience at some point in the past. Ooh, there's a thought, because that whole quantum entanglement thing works out, right? And
I have a friend of mine that just a normal dude that he always wanted to do missionary work, but and I told this story forever ago here on the show. Always wanted to do missionary work. Never had the finances, never had the means to do it. And then he's at he goes to some conference down in Florida, and these two guys come up to him and they see him and they're like, we never thought we'd ever see you again. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. And they came up, hugged him, told him they were thanking him and telling him all these how he's responsible for them being there now that day, and he helped, but because of some of the stuff that they did, it saved so many people's lives. The dude never left the States.
Yeah,
but he had these dreams where he was asleep and he was actively in sub-Saharan Africa.
Yeah.
Doing this missionary work, and guess he just thought that this was a dream that he was having, that it was something he was hopeful of, and he was just fantasizing about it. But met people who had met him, who were in those dreams, who he had interacted with, and he bilocated to be there.
Right.
I mean, that's the only way that could have worked.
Right. So biolocation literally is a projection that's visible. You can see it. They can see it. Your people around you can see it. Doesn't mean that you're actually physically there, but you're as physical as to their mind anyway. But it's like an out-of-body experience, except for in most out-of-body experiences, no one can see you. Well, I should say no human can typically see you. There are others who may, in fact, be able to see you and may, in fact, be able to scold you at times.
St. Padre Pio has many cases of recorded bilocation and time manipulation. Yeah. Buddhist monks. There you go. Yeah, they do. Yeah. This is another part of, the psychic nature of humanity, or the untapped side of us, that basically does this. And it's theorized that, of course, we all could do it, right? But
it's that the subconscious kind of takes over, and it's kind of a second nature kind of thing. So every now and again, you'll just do it. You know, you'll be going to sleep, and there you go, you're out. But they're different.
Stone says, I dream about doing office work, mostly organizing and logistics. Never done either in my life. Maybe you go to sleep and become me during the day, because that's what I do for a job.
That's funny.
It's boring.
That's funny. That's really funny. So I know that we have, we've already know there are folks out there in our circle right now who have had experiences, these contact experiences with these others, right?
Yeah.
Primarily, they are very benevolent experiences, or just confusing. Let's just call it what it is. They're either confusing, or they're just flat out, peace and love, and you get this overwhelming feeling of that. Very rarely do we get the ones who have these terrible negative experiences. And I have noticed that, but we have talked to folks who have had that. So it is a real thing. So that's why when we hear these stories of people saying they know what this stuff is, it's this, it's that. No, you don't, because you're assuming it's one single thing. It's not one single thing. There are multiple things here. And I think that that's our big lesson. And, if it takes them kind of slow dripping 4 alien types or whatever to us to get us on board with that. Yeah. That might be what it takes, man. I mean, as weird as it sounds, and
yeah, it does seem strange, because, we went from getting infrared footage, which, to be fair, it all pretty well looks the same, which is what we've been saying. Like, we've not been exactly excited about much of the video footage.
Yeah.
Because we've got hours of that stuff that we recorded.
Right.
It has to be something profound for us to really be like, oh my God. But we have to look at this at a larger scale. And we're like, the general public hasn't seen any of our stuff.
Yeah.
Because they don't go to our YouTube channel. Only the handful of you do.
No, there's not very many.
A few thousand people go to our YouTube channel to watch these videos, and you're talking 8 billion people on the planet.
Right.
So they're seeing something they've never seen before.
Right.
With this whole thanks Booker, we appreciate you, brother. With this whole
Amy, that's terrible. Go catch him.
With my cat Goose escape. Oh, geez. Good luck, Amy. So with everything going on the table right now, if they roll this out soon, like, it could go one of two ways.
Yeah.
People are going to think it's just complete garbage and write it all off. And like, see, told you all this was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
UFOs were believable. Space races aren't.
Yeah.
But it could also be like evidence of it.
Yeah.
If they show evidence of it, not just papers. Paper documents aren't going to really help much here. Because, I've got a bunch of books behind me that tell me that aliens are here and describe alien species. Okay.
Right.
I have several books like that.
Right.
A document release would be no different to me or the general public in that case. There's going to need to be some kind of hard proof, and I hope to God, they don't try to push what you and I were talking about on my drive home today, Ron.
Yeah.
And that would be the alien autopsy nonsense.
Yep. Well, I'm just saying, if you brought Kit Green's name into this, there's a good chance that may happen. Well, we can talk about that a little bit too. Octo, my cousin at time. Oh, this is, yeah. In the 60s, 70s, I can't tell you how many times one would call the other instead of a call going through, the other was on the line. That absolutely happened. I remember picking the phone up multiple times to dial, and my buddy was on the other line, and phone didn't ring. So that was a thing that we actually could do back then. That happened a lot.
Well, and then the modern version of that is like me and you getting ready to call each other, and then it's I've got the phone in my hand, the phone rings and
Yep.
it's you, or vice versa, or
Yep.
or my wife.
Well, sometimes it didn't. Again, we
Yeah,
did this
it doesn't
somehow.
ring.
It doesn't ring, and
Yeah.
you're just there. And it's like, I don't know. It didn't ring. You know, that happens. That does happen. And yes, unfortunately, yes, we do have to talk about this.
Yep, we do.
I think just to put you on the put it on the radar, because I've got a feeling, man. I just got a feeling that this is where we're going to go with this. I think that if you buy a locate, make sure you're wearing pants. Yeah, that's great. Good advice. Good advice, Jeff. Good advice. Can't stop the signal. Thank you so
Right,
much.
brother.
Thank you
Skinner.
so much. Keeping it going, Skinner. We're keeping it going. We got some stuff coming down the pipe.
We do.
So let's talk about this. Why we think that this is going to happen. I think it's going to happen because Kit Green's name was kind of involved with this. And there was a time when Kit actually says that, well, he saw the footage that everybody else saw, except for it was, I guess, the uncut version or something.
Yeah.
And he said that was real. And he's talking about the alien autopsy footage, right? Problem is, it's not real. But did Kit see that, or did he see something that was based on?
Which has always been rumored.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know where we're going here, but I do know that it does seem like we're going to have to start talking about biologics, as they like to call them these days.
For peanut butter and sky jellies.
Sky jellies. Sky blessings,
thank
everyone.
you, Stone. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, folks. Those are the blessings that we send out every time someone comes in and donates a little bit. That helps us keep everything going around here and out there in the field and buying new equipment, because, man, do we have some ideas.
Yes,
By the way,
oh, let's go get the ideas are going to be so freaking fun, though.
You don't know this, but in a stroke of complete synchronicity, and we have Tanner to thank for this, by the way. We were at the antique shop, and he's looking for stuff. He likes World War II stuff, and he's looking down and he finds this thing. He's like, come look at this. And I go over and look at it. It's a radio. It's not just a radio. It is the exact model and the exact model of speaker is that my old radio I had that used to sit over at the house. It was it was an old analog shortwave system. Multi-band.
Nice.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it can reach into some frequency ranges to where we can hear them. So
perfect.
Right. So I saw it and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And I'm flipping out. I'm like, this is my radio. This is the same thing I used to listen to. You could dial harp on this thing back when they were doing the harp test. You could actually listen to it. Yeah. And I bought it. I don't know if it works yet. I haven't tested it, but I did buy it, and it was only like $25. And yeah, that's perfect. So expect to see that in the future is what I'm saying, if it works, because we've got some ideas. And yes, that was Alien Autopsy with Jonathan Frakes.
You said that wrong. It's Alien Autopsy with number 2.
Number 2. It was that. Yeah. Number 2. What? Why did you say number 2?
I know he's number 1.
Yeah, number 2.
Yeah,
you know that's not right, because honestly, Riker is cool. He's definitely not a number 2. Okay, Riker is a number 1.
He was a number 2 when it came to those after he did Alien Autopsy.
Oh well,
he did that one series, and that was a fake.
Oh, this was a fake. Forgot about that.
And that was real, but this was a fake.
But you know what? That evolved into the proof is out there.
It did.
I mean, it honestly did.
It was the baseline for it. 100%.
Yeah, it really did. It was kind of the equivalent of what that is at this point. Or experts say this. You don't have experts. So there's that.
Andrew says to Andrew just got done modding a chat, so he's over here now. Did someone say they got probed during an autopsy? No, that's rigor mortis.
God, no, that's just not right.
Max Rock cosplay, believe it or not, was wonderful. It really
Oh,
was.
yeah.
That's what that show was. It was,
Yeah.
Believe it or not, it was a good show. So then, we've got, Beyond Belief, Fact or Fiction.
Yeah.
So we've got the potentiality for something really weird coming out, just because if we're following the media cycles the way that we've been programmed to, which we have definitely been programmed. You can't say we haven't now.
Yeah.
We have been guided a certain way. We saw what was coming kind of before it got released the last 2 times.
Yeah.
You know, we knew what was coming. So is this the next predictive wave? Are we going to get something to that equivalency? I think that if they're going to show any kind of substantive proof, it's going to have to be something other than an autopsy video or pictures of an autopsy, because we know how easily that stuff can be fake.
Dude, it's ridiculous now.
And with AI, it's going to be real hard anyway for something, but like the whole species thing, that's going to be a tough one to grapple with.
It is a tough one to grapple with, especially when you enter into the equation. Like he said, we have friends, we have enemies. We don't have enemies. We have enemies that want to wipe us out. Now, there's something, and we hear these people saying, "Oh, the truth is so terrible. The truth is we can't tell." The American people would just freak out. Why? They've wanted us wiped out forever.
Yeah.
It hasn't changed. What has changed? Has something changed? Maybe that's it. Now, you might freak out if that's the case, you know, if there's a Star Destroyer heading this way, but no one said that. We can speculate about that all we want, but no one has said that.
Nope.
So until we get something like that, I suggest we all just kind of go into this open-minded and realize how amazing this actually could be. Think about the good side of contact. Think about that. Think about the fact that if it were to go down the right way, the trade, the amount of the technological jump would just be light years, literal light years.
Oh, yeah.
It would be amazing. Now, are we allowed to do that? I don't know.
Hey, you know, this might...
I don't know.
Conspiracy time.
All right.
This is for pure entertainment and speculation only. Disclosure might be happening because we've harnessed the power of UFOs, and now we have 0 point energy. So what it is that's how they're going to power all these new data centers. They're not going to have to upgrade the grid. They're just going to put these UFO power sources in all the data centers. So that way it can power it. That's what's going to happen. And everybody's going to get radiation poisoning.
Probably.
And get zapped to oblivion.
That's probably what's going to happen. I mean, no, Hellben, I did not say that. I mean, I kind of did, but no, that was speculation. So no, don't quote me on that.
There's a Star Destroyer coming.
No, there isn't. Would you quit?
Doom.
No, quit it. There's enough people out there doing that crap. I did not see this. My psychic abilities have failed me when I need them the most.
It's because you started letting your ego go, Joe. You have to boost that ego some to maximize psychic maxing. That's it, dude. Joe, I have your new shtick for YouTube. You're now psychic maxing. That's what your new thing's going to be.
This is so wrong. This is so
it's
wrong.
It's a super Star Destroyer.
Would you please quit? There's no. I can just see somebody quit. Well, you know what? Only 3,000 of you are out there watching this, so no, it's okay. Sure, Star Destroyers are coming.
We're in line for destruction today. Make way for hyperspace bypass. That is fantastic.
Oh my God, that's priceless. That is great.
That's no moon.
Right? No, but for real, you can understand. you know, that could be kind of upsetting for some people to figure out.
Max says, Keller, yes, giving Skynet unlimited power source is a great idea.
Yeah, what could go wrong? Well, it could go wrong.
Nothing could go wrong.
Not a thing.
Unlimited speed, unlimited power.
Folks, what have we learned here tonight? It's quiz time. What
That we need a free taco machine.
I would like to have that. If we had 0-point energy and programmable matter. Well, programmable matter, right? You see, you did it right there. It was.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah. So if we had a programmable matter, we could just, taco machine. We'd have tacos anytime. Forget that tea Earl Grey hot.
Margaritas. Do you know, like this is going to be the motivation that it takes to make a real replicator.
Tacos and margaritas.
Yeah, okay, it'll be used to make like all kinds of other fantastically great, amazing things, but the real primary goal is to create margs and tacos.
I'm with that. I mean, I'm totally down with that technology. We could do that. We could do that. Pretty sure.
What we learned that Joe Doyle has harnessed the absolute power of the human mind.
But couldn't see the Star Destroyer? I don't know.
Twisted. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm learning so much from these live streams, and Hellbent Holler, God help you, first of all. But thanks. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah.
We do have this innate ability to be able to go from serious to goofy quite a bit. So appreciate you guys who hang out with us.
I'm not sure there was a difference tonight. As far as it goes, you know, but
you guys now have for the rest of eternity Indie Ejo. So,
well, I think that it's important that we address the fact that in 2 weeks, is it 2 weeks now? Yeah, probably 2 weeks. When the next, you mean
our presentation in 2 weeks, right?
Oh, crap, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, right. It's gonna be so much fun because it's gonna happen the same day. And you know what else happens that weekend, Ron? Disclosure Day movie comes out. It's all the same weekend. It's going to be an absolute cluster. And Zorp and Cargon are going to be there to have the biggest party in the world with their taco machine, Ron.
No one is going to take us serious. That's what I heard.
So Stone Maven, taco machine, I'd be like a rat pressing the food bar. Lizard.
I can't do this anymore. I have failed.
Seth says I'll help 0-point energy if it's sauce. We get tacos.
That's what it's going to be.
The perpetual taco machine. The PTM.
Joe, put up the reminder thingy. We haven't done one of these for a while. We got a good house here. I want to see if we got us any potentials out here. Because I need somebody to pilot I need some people to step up and show us what they got. That's what I meant to say.
Let's get it.
I don't like to drive.
There it is.
Tacos might save humanity. Could you imagine? Yeah. Okay, folks. For those who do not know, this is a standard 25 card Zinner deck. We are not going to conduct a complete 25 card Zinner test, however. We are going to just test your intuition. We're actually going to test remote viewing, believe it or not. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to tell you how to do that. We're going to do something called associative remote viewing, okay? ARV. And this is how we're going to do that.
And these are your objects in the deck.
So what I want you to do on this one, on this test alone, do not put anything down at this point. Do not do anything. Look at those objects. Scan all the way from left to right, right to left, back and forth. And when you blink, that's the one you're going to choose. So you're going to program yourself like this. I'm only going to blink when the card that is being pointed at is the one I'm looking at. Okay? That's what you're going to do. And when you blink, that's the one you're going to choose. You're not going to choose any before. And go.
Did you just say Ingo?
No, I said go and go and Go.
Thought we were summoning Ingo
We're
Swan.
not summoning Ingo Swan.
He would totally smoke this card game, though.
Go. He would. He already knows what it is.
No, Pat, it's not just you. The one in the middle does have a different shade on it.
Let's see who gets this thing right.
All right. I think
ready?
we've got a lot of comments in so far. I got the top one marked.
They're still coming in, but
So-
yeah, we'll go ahead and do this. And I'm going to go with circle. That's just me. So you ready? What'd you get?
Go star.
Look at you.
So
Look at you.
we got-
Look at you.
one. Let's see. We got 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah.
9,
Good.
10.
Good. Excellent.
10 people got star. Holy cow, those are great numbers.
Yeah, and this
11
isn't a common.
technically got me.
Well, this isn't a common one because it's usually people are just saying bacon for the fun of it.
Right.
So we usually don't get stars. So that is pretty significant, honestly. That's
That's
pretty
a big
awesome. Now this one we're gonna do a little different. Okay, this one we're gonna do a little different. This one you're gonna give yourself a mental note. So you're gonna your little finger, right? You're gonna snap. You're gonna do one of those little Thanos snaps, right? So you're gonna put it in your head. When I snap my finger, I'll know which one this is. When I snap my finger, I'll know which card that is. Just like that. Just and the first one that comes to your head, that's it. Don't second guess this. Just go with it. And boom, like that. What'd you see? I saw the destruction of humanity by a Star Destroyer just now.
All right, get them in there. I got the first one marked. Now we're watching. Remember, this time it's the first image that pops in your
First
head.
image, yeah. Just snap your fingers and first image pops in your head. It's got to be instantaneous. There are no triangles. I just want to tell you that right now. Well, snap or click. Well, don't click because I think that's supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. That'd be good. We might get sued for that. They've copyrighted the alien language. We're in
Right.
trouble. We're in big trouble now.
All right. Comments are slowing down. I got the top one marked.
Okay, I'm going with square. What are you going with, Joe?
Plus,
Plusa? Okay. You got it again. Found my pilot.
we got Rick Skinner.
Found
Plus.
my pilot. That's what I found.
We've got Z's plus. We got Terry, Nancy,
All right.
5,
All right.
6,
Come on.
7.
7. Come on.
Oh, I lost him. 7, 8.
8. What a good run.
8. We got 8.
And we got 8 on, again, an unusual one. This is not one of our typical results. My God, we still have 70 people out there. Amazing. Wouldn't it be amazing if all 70 people participated in this and
Oh, that would be
everybody?
so fun.
Could you imagine? Let's try to do
Yeah.
it. 70 people who are watching.
If you're watching, if you're on a TV, don't worry about it. No sweat. But like if you're watching it, jump in the comments, jump into the live comment feed, and get ready to explain how this one's going to work, and then join us on this one. We'll give it a little bit extra time to get your comment in.
I'm going to look at this one. Okay. So we're going to do one of those.
Okay. So what Ron is doing with this is he's examining the card. He's looking at the card. He is going to project with his mind what everybody should be seeing.
Well, I'm staring at it. I don't know if I'm projecting it, but I'm staring at it. So it's up to you to figure out what I'm looking at. What am I looking at? That's what you should be asking yourself. What shape is what I'm looking at?
First comment in is marked.
70 some people. Come on, guys, jump in. This will be a fun one. If you can do it, if you're not watching on TV, pop it in there. Even if you have never said anything in the show before, just hey,
just chime in.
What's the very
you've
first
watched the show? You've seen stuff enough. You know how we do things.
Yeah. What's the
even
shape?
if it's your first time hanging out in the chat, hey, we appreciate you. Thanks for joining us. Go back and dial back. Watch the last 2 hours. It's been a really good show.
It's been a great show, and I think it's going to be a relevant show in the coming weeks.
Yeah, agreed.
We won't get any credit for it, but I'm going to tell you, it's going to be one of those relevant shows.
Never. But that's fine though. Hey, we do have a bunch of new names I'm seeing popping up here in the chat, commenting. Thank you, guys.
See that? Come on in, guys. Don't be shy. We're just doing the basic side.
Soldier mechanic. Hey, you maintainer, brother? Is that what I'm reading? Somebody out there running maintenance? And again, Ron is thinking of the shape. He looked at the card. What card is Ron looking at? Heck yeah, man. Right on. Me too, brother.
There you go.
Yep, same. I got out in 2000 and officially out in 2011. I was airframes.
All right. Are we ready?
All right. I think we're ready, man.
Ready to do it?
Yep.
Here you go, guys.
Oh. All right. So I've got one so far. 1, 2. Brenda, good job. We only got 2 out of that one.
Now, my question. Out of those 2, how many got the hits, previous hits?
From
the last 2 we just did before this.
I think me and Brenda.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that? So we do see sometimes these scores that actually they kind of repeat.
Yeah.
We'll see that with other people.
Iski says, I wonder why so many of us saw a circle.
Wait, let's find out.
Oh, so Brenda didn't get one. So I was the only one
Brenda.
not the others.
Wasn't Brenda. Oh, look at that. Now what's the odds? No, wait. I just put that there. Circle. Nope. Wow. Truly random. That's how these cards be. They're truly random. No circles. I don't know. I don't know where the circle came from.
I guess I should stop playing the lottery.
I know where the circle came from. You guys saw the giant invading mothership.
It was. They saw the Star Destroyer.
That's what it was. Yeah, totally.
I failed. Never been a Jedi.
Nope. But that is a good example of, of how that works. And some are like, oh, well, it's just guess, lucky guess. But what's not a lucky guess is when you do that. Hang on. Before we go. When you do that, you do it for a series of 25 cards and you do it 25 times. Let's see. This is when I was doing it under a strobe light. Thank goodness I didn't have epilepsy. Figured that out real quick. Right out the get go was 7, So I've got 7, 4, 6, 8, 6, 4. Got a 10 on the 8th run. Got a 6. I got a 7 on the 12 run, a 7 on the 15 run, an 8 on the 16, a 9 on the 17, and that's the highest one there. The other one, you like this one. I did this one under UV light. And this was in, well, look at that. It's pretty darn close. It was 517.94. And the high score on this one was 10, 9, 13, and 10. 13 was the highest on this run. And I also got to the point where I could do what they call runs. Now, what I learned about the runs was that if you're doing that, that's when you
did you get that from the taco replicator?
No, it's not the taco. I was waiting for you to do that. I was waiting for you to do that. You'll get a series of runs where you'll get one right after the other. And it almost seemed like when you got that, you were scoring low for at least 7, 8 cards. And then it would come back up. It seemed to suggest a ramping of whatever it was, the intuition, the psychic effect, whatever it was. So, yeah, every now and again, we like to pull those out and just have a little fun with it. Oh, flute. Oh,
More flute.
More flute. All right, let's see. Let's do the I'm gonna do the A again. I think I'll do the A. All right, let's grab the A. Da, 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 da. Okay.
Yes, distractions often pull you out of the flow. It could be something as
100%.
as small as like a itchy ear, or like feeling like a tinge somewhere on your body that you would normally respond with like a stretch or a flex or anything like that. Anything like that will take you out, and you won't be able to lock in.
Let's see.
Where's the murder slugs? I don't know, but I have a new product idea.
Don't do this. Don't you dare do this. Yeah, I wonder what this button will do. I want to see what this does.
All right, guys. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Y'all are awesome. We appreciate everybody that showed up and spent the evening with us. We covered quite a bit of ground tonight, and there was a lot going on. We will continue to keep you as up to date as humanly possible on all of the coming releases,
and non-humanly possible as well.
What is it?
And non-humanly possible as well.
Yes, and non-humanly as possible. That's right.
Get that. Can't be.
We will be again. Remember, speaking at Saucers Over Appalachia in Bristol, Virginia. If you're in the Mid-Atlantic region, it's going to be worth the trip. This show is an absolute blast. It's up there, in our opinion, with the Mothman Festival as far as festivals go. It has a ton of great people that show up. Everybody's there having fun. Amazing vendors. And we're also going to be doing some presentations throughout the day at our table, as well as in the Country Music Museum amphitheater there. where we're going to be going over our data in comparison with the releases that have been coming out and showing people the trajectory for what should be coming as well. Again, this is all going to be playing out over the next 2 weeks, and buddy, it could get dicey. And if it's anything like the very first presentation that we did out there at the Withville UFO Festival for the same people, that just so happened to be the same weekend that David Grush came out with his story.
Yes, it was.
So
I was literally rewriting the presentation the night before in the hotel. Rachie, there actually is an album coming out, and it's not going to be just me. It's going to be NHI. That's who's going to be doing that. That's
exactly.
Yep. And you'll see. Just keep
it's going to be a good time.
It's going to be a good time. You're going to like it. You're going to like it. It might help you get out of body. I don't know.
So yes, it will make you go out of body at the speed of Mock Jesus.
Matcha
Jesus. So like, yeah, tea.
It's different. That's different.
Hey, Jake, no worries.
Hey,
We are
Jake.
getting ready to sign off. Jump back, give it a rewatch at your leisure. It was a good episode.
I think you'll like it. I think you'll like it. I think you're probably it's going to be more relevant. It's going to, as long as things like wine, it's going to age with time.
Yeah.
And over the next 2 weeks, it's going to be like, well, how did they know? And they're going to be like, well, didn't you watch the psychic part of this? Joe Doyle obviously told him.
It's right. It's right.
That's how.
So thanks for hanging out. Remember, go over and check out Hellbent Holler as well. If you are not a member of their channel, go subscribe to Hellbent Holler over on YouTube. They're family to us, and always hanging out here with us on Thursday nights. We appreciate them so much. Like I said, they're part of the family. Good folks.
Oh yeah, hit the like, leave comments, do all the things, hype it, whatever you got to do all those things for us. It really does help us out, and gets us out there to more and more people. And
and remember, once this give it about 5 minutes and jump back over to the replay. Drop a comment over there because that always helps out too.
Ask questions, criticize. That'd be fun. Do that one. That'd be cool.
There we go, Ron. There's your new shirt idea. I need a Mock Jesus shirt with Jesus piloting a UFO.
I already thought about it, man.
It needs to happen.
I've already thought of it. Somebody got in my head and did that. Who was that? Who is that? Seth Womack? Stop
Seth
viewing
Womack.
me. Stop remote viewing me. I will put a shield up right now.
Terry, thanks for hanging out. We appreciate you.
Terry.
We unfortunately can't do any Sky Daddy merch anymore because Matthew McConaughey did copyright his likeness. So that's why you haven't seen the Sky Daddy make an appearance here on the show.
Alas, his greatness has left us.
I do plan on actually reaching out to his agent to get permission eventually to bring it back. So just hang tight. Bear with us.
Or there may be other things that come
Very well
down
could be.
from space and replace the Sky Daddy in their party ways.
Exactly.
It could happen.
So remember, next week, 8 p.m. Eastern, Thursday, right here, Wild and Weird Radio Live. You're going to want to be here because I guarantee it, there's going to be some weird stuff that comes out between now and then too. We're going to be your unbiased source for that.
It's the pre-disclosure watch party.
Yeah. And we're just going to be giving you guys the data as we see it and letting you guys make up your own minds.
What's a Thursday? That's a very good question, Andrew. And if you're not from Earth, you wouldn't know the answer to that. So we understand.
That's right.
It's the day that follows the day before Thursday. It's that day. It's the day follows after. See, I'm backwards.
Anyway,
It's late.
so guys,
I'm
we
tired.
appreciate you. Y'all are awesome. Remember, Saucers Over Appalachia. It is going to be June 13th. Presentations from UFO researchers. There's going to be tons of vendors. It's going to be a great time. We absolutely love that show. Come hang out with us. Come see Zorp and Cargon. It's going to be a ball. I can guarantee that much. So until next time,
Death Stars.
remember, Death Stars.
Yeah.
Perpetual taco machines. And stay wild and weird, everybody.
Yep.